Alright everyone, hi, welcome back. This is Gene. I'm going to try to re-record this because first time I recorded it came out sounded pretty bad. This is a battle report for a game, the last practice game I had before Buckeye Battles against the Highborn Elves. And we randomized and rolled up the message for you sir scenario. In this one, you get a messenger figure, and the object is to get it off the other side of the board. Get 350 victory points for that. If you kill the other guy's messenger, you get 300. And the bonus victory points, +2 as you can see, +2 for completing both parts of the mission, +2 if you complete a charge, and +1 if you wound the other guy's messenger. So I rolled up spells. I got the Evil Eye and the Stay Quiet. Evil Eye is a really good spell versus the Toughness 3 Elves. And then Wilderness didn't get a really good roll. Ended up with Inner Rage and Beast Within. Beast Within's always an awesome spell. Inner Rage, wasn't that thrilled, but it's what I got. So, looking at the deployment, starting on my units, on the far right you can see there is a Git launcher. Next to that is a unit of Boar Boys, Squig herd on the hill, Nashers. Behind the hill, the Nasher Dashers. Another Git launcher on top of the hill. Cave Troll, 20, I think it's 25 common goblins with hand weapon shield, short bow. Also in there is the BSB and my level 2 Goblin Shaman. Moving on to the left is the Ed Basher unit. My messenger is in this unit. My general's in this unit, and there is the Goblin King with the Wizarding Hood is in here as well. Moving on, there's a chariot, Goblin Chariot, Wolf Chariot. Behind that is the Splatterer, another Cave Troll, and another unit of Boar Boys. Both these Boar Boy units have banners. That's it for command. The Gargantula Spider with the Force Goblin King riding it, and a great weapon. Up here are the Scouting and then Vanguarding Goblin Spider Riders, and a unit of Grotlings. On his side, you can see the Knights of Rima sitting over here. Again, there is 6 of them. Full command. 6 of these guys is pretty tough, to say the least. 5 of the Lane Reavers and a level 2 Mage. Pair of Bolt Throwers in the back. Unit of Spearmen with his other Mage in this unit. 5 of the Queen's Guard. Unit of, I think it's a dozen Archers, and a pile of Swordmasters. His messenger ended up in this pile of Swordmasters. Back here behind the hill, you can see off to the far right there's a pair of Eagles as a unit. This is his High Prince on a Griffin. There's General. Frost Phoenix, and in the back here is his BSB on an Eagle. Another shot over here of the Spider. Other side of the line. And turn 1. So, the first turn, I move up here. Spider advances a little bit. Wanted to stay with the majority in the woods just to get the -1 from his bolt throwers. Rest of the army moved up a bit. The goblins ran and hid in the house. And the Boar Boys moved up on the right flank. Shooting phase, got a couple hits on here, got a couple wounds, but he saved them both. You can see the Doom Diver is dropped on the Swordmasters, killing a few. Over here, the Splatterer landed right between these 2 units. I think it killed 2 Spearmen and 3 of the Queen's Guard. Actually, not a bad shot for a miss. So moving on his turn 1, Knights of Rima move off here to the left flank. They're threatening my Spire Gargantula. Simply, I can't take that. He's got 13 attacks. They're going to be hitting me on 2s, wounding me on 5s. You know, that's close to 6 or 7 wounds right there. So anything above average, and he's killed me. His Fast Cav backed off, Mage hid behind them. Swordmasters, as you can see over here on the right, advanced. And he brought out everyone from behind the hill. During his magic phase, he miscast on, I think it was 2 or 3 dice, nothing major. But he did roll the double 6s, put a wound on his mage, did the big bubble, killed 1 or 2 more spearmen, and 3 of the Fast Cav. So moving on to turn 2, the Grotlings charge into the flank of his Fast Cav. They didn't quite have the mage in their arc, so they went for the next best thing. Over here, the Boar Boys charged into the Frost Phoenix. I don't think I can kill this thing. I'm just hoping to tie it up for a turn or 2. If I can tie it for 2 turns, great. Even if I tie it for 1 turn, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Over here, one other unit he does have that I failed to mention is he's got a unit of the 20 Sea Guard that are ambushing, so they haven't showed up. So the Nasher Dashers hop over here, not leaving him enough room to come in behind us. It leaves him open behind this hill. You can see my War Machine, my Git launchers, failed a, what's it called, anyway, misfired, thank you. Misfired and put a wound on itself. Moving on, this Boar Boy, the Spider could not quite get out of reach of the Knights of Rima. That's just them right there in the very corner. Couldn't get out of their charge range unless I just wanted to go around here behind the Orcs and kind of sit and do nothing. So I came out here and I moved the Boar Boys out here to block his rear. Chariot turned around, faced the back, he's looking for those Sea Guard. And my Troll moved up here on the left to chaff up these guys, the Swordmasters. I also put the Stay Quiet spell on him, so if he does want to charge me, he's got to take dangerous terrain checks for everyone in the unit. The Boar Boys, when they charged, actually did a wound to the Frost Phoenix, and it did nothing in return. So I actually had a charge, a banner, and a wound, but even down 3, he's got his BSB and his general right there, and he passed. Also, you can see one of the Doom Divers has put a wound on his High Prince. The Grotlings charge in, do nothing, take a wound back. Despite winning the combat, his guys turn around and reform to face me. And on his turn, the Knights of Rima charge into the Boar Boys. That's not going to go well for me at all. And Eagles move up, High Prince moves up. Everyone else kind of stays the same, except his Mounted Mage moves further off to the right, way over here. And he charges his BSB into the Boar Boys, hoping to get rid of them. The Swordmasters decided not to charge. They just backed up. They reformed, backed off a little bit, and got ready. His Messenger, however, did leave the unit and starts to make a break for the back edge of the board. And another shot there, and as you can see, the Boar Boys didn't do well. That was kind of to be expected. Moving on over here in the fight with the other Boar Boys, he killed all but 1. And that one broke and ran, of course. I mean, he had a charge, 4 wounds versus my banner. So, not much chance of me doing anything there. And moving on to turn 3. You can see the Reavers have managed to kill a couple, put more wounds on the Grotlings, but now the Spiders charged into their flank with an overrun set up onto the Spearmen. Spider moves up further. This time it failed to charge into the Spearmen. It was a long charge. I think I needed a 9 or a 10. I needed a 10 to get it, but it did fail. I was hoping to get him in there. It would have got him way out of these guys' range, but now, as you can see, not far away. But this thing with a wound on it, I figured I would charge the Squig Herd down into this, and I'm thinking I can put a few wounds on it, and maybe even kill the thing. The troll over here rolls his stupidity, fails it, and stumbles forward, but he's still serving his chaff. And the other troll had to sacrifice itself to keep my Gargantua alive for another turn. You can see that. And that. Okay, notice there's the, this guy did not rally, still fleeing along. And we've crushed the fast cav. The spiders have overrun into here. You can see back here the bolt thrower has failed his panic check. And he will not be shooting next turn, at least. That's something. And over here, the Grotling herd is just... I'm not Grotling. The Gnasher herd is completely destroyed. They've put one wound onto the Frost Phoenix. I think it did kill a couple of these between the... I think a Git Launcher hit, killed a few of these, and the blowing up Gnasher herd put another wound or two on these guys. They also managed to wound my troll. Over here on the bottom of the third, High Prince charges into the Gnasher Dashers. Eagles charge into the Git Launcher. And he charges into my chaff, just figuring he's about time he's get rid of it. Over here, the Knights of Rima charged into the troll, cave troll. None of these fights are going well, going to go well for me. Checking the arc on a couple things, visibility. And he moves his mages over here where they're supposedly somewhat safe from the combat action going on over here. As expected, the Eagles wipe out the Git Launcher. The High Prince makes short work of the Gnasher Dashers. The Knights of Rima only managed to put 2 wounds on my troll, and the troll somehow survives and pukes on one of them and kills one. So at least he did something on his way out. There's no way he's going to rally, but kills off my other troll and reforms, and you can see they are out of arc of the big orc horde. Because at this point, with him down to 8, I'll definitely take that charge any chance I get. Turn 4. Spider loops around and just marches back here behind the Knights of Rima. Despite losing one, they're still going to kill me if they fight me. Chariot is still waiting. I pumped in 15 shots into this guy last turn and couldn't wound him. Guys from the house. So... this turn, the Orcs managed to charge into the spear block to help the Spider Riders out. And the way it's looking, it's pretty good because they're going to flee right at this bolt thrower, which will send my Spider Riders into the bolt thrower, send my Orcs into the Queen's Guard, and just generally wipe up this whole side of the board. So I'm very happy about that whole situation. Again, I've misfired with my Git Launcher. This time I've rolled the 1 or 2, so I re-rolled it with my bully, gave myself a wound, then got a 5 or 6. So I ended up with 2 more wounds on me, so I'm down to a single wound. But the other Git Launcher fires, hits the mage that was here. Sorry, the Rock Lobber fired, hit the mage that was here, killed it, and panicked the swordsman off the board. Or sorry, panics the sword masters. As you can see here, he's put 5 wounds on my Spider Riders, despite they had the beast within, toughness 4. He rolled 5 6s, killed them all 5. That and the damage we did, we won this combat by 6. He's leadership 8, and he rolls a 2 and sticks, which is terrible. So I reform wide enough to be able to overrun into everything next turn. And his knights charge into the back of my chariot, which 60-point unit, just write it off. Charges in with the Frost Phoenix and his BSB into the building. Fight my goblins. The Eagles and his messenger both charge my my Git launcher, remaining Git launcher. And that's looking bad. So, as you can see, his swordmasters did not rally. His mage got nervous out there by himself, ran and joined the unit. This fight's looking much better for me now. The BSB challenged, and his BSB answered. Got into a fight. He's done nothing to me, and I did 2 wounds to his BSB, just 1 short of killing him. He did chase me out of the house, however, and I managed to roll terribly. I think I rolled a 5 for distance. 1 more inch would have hit this troll and bounced me through. Unfortunately, now, when he kills my chariot, he overran and clipped my goblins, and they're all dead. Orcs have killed off his spear block and pursued off the board. One thing you've not seen is the Sea Guard have never shown up yet. Moving on to turn 5. Wasn't much for the trolls, but in my turn I marched back onto the board. On the bottom of 5, he moved his High Prince into this troll, killed him off. His swordmasters rallied, and the eagles got ready to come charge this. Oh, in this eagle fight on the hill and the Git launcher, they managed to do absolutely no wounds. My crew killed his messenger, so that was devastating to him. I mean, he had, what, 3 attacks from eagles and another 2 from the messenger. Couldn't put a single wound on me. My guys reformed like this, got back on the board. His Queen's Guard are there in front of me. He cast the Dweller spell on me and kills 14 orcs. Moving on to turn 6. There's really nothing I can do. I kill the 2 Queen's Guard in front of me, and my spell, I get the Inner Rage off on him, giving him Frenzy. And on turn 6, he fails his Frenzy check and had to charge my unit. Then he issued a challenge, so only my general could fight him. I could accept with anyone, but I accepted with the general. Had 4 attacks, and only managed to put a single wound on him. He had a charge, I had a wound, to rank, and a banner, and he held, and that's how the game ended, with him with a wound on him. Could have gone well, but with the Inner Rage, I was hoping. Anyway, we totaled up the points. Highborn Elves got 1,640 points. The Orcs only got 550. He won by 1,300. Sorry, he won by, what was it, 1,190. But because of the 2 victory conditions, I scored an additional 650 victory points, bringing me up to 1,300. Left him with a 340-point win, which was 11-9. But then you add in the bonus points. He only got 2 for completing a charge with his messenger. I got all 5 bonus points. So the ending was a 13-14. Despite winning by 1,190 points, the battle points at the end of this game were 13-14 in favor of the Orcs. That's pretty awesome. These battle points mean a huge difference in this game, in this tournament coming up. So anyway, that was it. Thanks for listening. If you listened the first time and this sounded better, I'm glad, but yeah, the first one recording really was bad. Anyway, thanks for listening. Send a subscribe if you liked it. Thank you. Talk to you later.